Okay, sorry, it just started. What was the question, Darlene?
The live, is that just for us, or is that
yes.
for... Okay.
Yeah, you can do a live for anybody, but this is a private community, so this is only live for us. Also, no one can watch this as an event. So the show I was going to do with Monique tomorrow, after our call at 10, was just a half-hour interview with her, which I did public. So nobody, only Monique is invited to be on the panel, the panel part where you two are. But anybody could watch it live. Yeah, which was the intent, but since she's going to save her voice for us, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so let's just take a minute and we're not going to go into the cabin. We'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, just get centered, and we've got a lot to cover today, so it's really, really fun, the stuff tools we're going to learn today. Okay, we'll just take a minute and be quiet. Okay, good. So let's just do a little bit of recapping here, and I've just looking back at your assignment. So yeah, just be interested in any thoughts, Nina, maybe that you had, now that you know what the words results relationship is, the don't not know words, the reset vibe. What things did you sort of notice from last week till now?
How much I really focus on affirmations and the disconnect between my affirmations, the way I feel, and my results.
Okay. So we're going to do affirmations today.
So for example, I'll get up and I'm, feeling really crappy, and I'll just say, no, you know what? I'm better off than a lot of people. I'm doing well, and I talk myself into. But because the feeling isn't really there,
yeah,
the results aren't really there.
Yeah,
it doesn't snowball into positive; it snowballs into negative.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I'm really trying to focus on feeling the difference and stepping into the feeling as opposed to the talking myself into. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So with are you using that reset vibe? So what do I want? Have you noticed that with yourself at all?
No, Dana, you know what? I use the reset vibe. I think to myself, okay, reset, reset, reset. But I don't ask myself,
what do I want? Oh.
I didn't do that.
Huh. Okay, so just, where's one of my buttons here? So these are, I've got to get these buttons to you guys. See that button? I actually give these out at talks. So it says, so what do I want, right?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about affirmations today, but this is probably one of the best tools that you can ever have. It's a simple one, but it's always asking that question, so what do I want? Same with somebody, being negative with you and going on and on. It's like, okay, so what do you want, right? So we're going to talk about affirmations today, and I definitely will cover that topic because there's a few things that you said there that, you're trying to change something, and when we're trying, we're not really doing it. Trying comes into that, yes and no. It falls right in the middle, that you're trying, but don't bother, right? Like, because the trying isn't going to get you what you want.
Right.
But we'll talk about that as well, because I actually have done a lot of blogs about trying. When people are using that word, if they really examined it, it doesn't have the energy that you want it to have. So we can talk about that. And did you notice don't, not, and no? Did you see where that was coming up, hearing people say that?
Every sentence. It's amazing how much we use those three words.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
don't want it, yeah.
I always think of the example Michael Losier gives where he says, if you don't think about football, try Googling, I don't like football. What comes up?
Yeah, no football. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that today as well. Yeah, for sure. And that's how the mind works, right? Yeah, because that's the hard drive. Okay, great. Thanks, Nina. Darlene, how about you with the assignments? Did you notice? What did you notice?
Well, you know, it's funny. I had a different experience from Nina. I focused on the reframing, so the reset vibe.
Yeah.
And I found it very, very helpful, especially when what I find is that normally I'm in a good place and everything goes just great. But when things get stressful, I slip into my polar opposite.
Yeah.
And
a natural reaction. Yeah.
So last Wednesday, just after our call, I had we were doing an application for with work for funding, government funding, and so I was managing that project. And so, as normally what happens in that sort of thing is you've got all these pieces coming together, and some of them aren't coming together, and etc. And but yet you've got a deadline and all that. Well, I just kept resetting my vibe.
I love it.
It all flowed pretty nicely.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's good.
Great. Yeah.
I love that. I love it when you can take something, because these, like I said about this whole program, these aren't woo-woo tools. These are really concrete tips and techniques that you can use to, you know, really get you out of that place, Nina, where you get up in the morning. And you know what, Nina? It's okay to have a crap day. It's okay. And when I have days like that, or I have mornings where I go, well, I'm not feeling so great, and I don't know why it is, right? It's just like I'm just not feeling great. And what I'll do, usually what I do is I go and meditate, because I just want to, because I know for me everything is from Source. So I know that Source has all the happiness and the energy that I want, so I need to get connected with that. And I just find even giving myself that time to take and say, okay, what do we want the day to look like? Like, then I just take one step at a time, and the day just turns out and starts to blossom. And if it doesn't, just say, you know, thank you for the day. Wasn't exactly how I expected it to turn out, but you know, tomorrow's another day, right? Because some things just are, right? We don't know if it's our diet, or sometimes I had this one teacher. She always used to blame Mercury retrograde.
Oh yeah.
And I never knew what that was, but she'd say your computers are go on the blink, and when days like that happen, I go, if I wasn't feeling well, is this Mercury retrograde? But I laugh about that, because then you're giving the power to something that doesn't really have that power. So it's okay to but I'm going to talk to you about better ways to use an affirmation, better ones to choose. Okay, so let's take out page 7. And we're going to go through the clarity through contrast. We're going to talk about affirmations. I'm going to have you take notice of what's in your vibrational bubble. And I'm going to talk about a vibrational business plan, but we can change that vibrational business plan more into whatever it is you're going to focus on. So it could be, instead of a vibrational business plan, it could be a vibrational life plan, or vibrational balance plan, whatever. And then we'll take a look at the desire script. So this is the introduction to this 3-step formula. I use this 3-step formula all the time. So this, again, is not a woo-woo thing for me. So on page 8, let's just get right into this. So here's the 3-step formula. And this is a formula that you can use over and over and over. So it's not something that you're going to put aside. I use it for all sorts of things, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. So step 1, the first thing you do is identify my desire. So you can write that in. Identify my desire. Because that's all about getting clear on what you want. And the tool that you're going to use for that is the clarity through contrast worksheet. So step 1, identify my desire, and the tool is a clarity through contrast worksheet. Step number 2 is raise my vibration. And the tool we're going to focus on today is write desire statements. So step 2, raise my vibration. The tool, write desire statements. And step 3 is allow. And the tool that we're going to use is allowing statements and techniques. And I'm going to explain what all that is. Do both of you have that?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So the speed at which, and for law of attraction, I just usually use the acronym LOA. So the speed at which LOA manifests my desire, the speed at which LOA manifests my desire is equal to how much I am allowing. The speed at which law of attraction manifests my desire is equal to how much I'm allowing. And the most important part of this 3-step formula is allowing. So we're not going to cover allowing today. It's so important, we're going to look at it next week. So we're going to do step 1 and step 2 today. And something we always say with the law of attraction, I don't always get what I want, but I always get what I vibrate. And I love that one because what's the 2-word job description for law of attraction? Match vibrations, right? Vibration. So I don't always get what I want, but I always get what I vibrate. And I love that one because sometimes I'll just catch myself, and you know that's where, of course, the reset button comes in, right? Like, oh, what am I vibrating here? That's why that happened or whatever. Okay. All right. Now the next page, page 9. So this is where I want you to choose what it is you want to manifest. So at the top it says identify my desire, which is step 1, clarity through contrast worksheet, which is this. So I want you to look at my ideal, for you, Nina, is it going to be life, my ideal life? So you could put that down at the top, my ideal life. And Darlene, what would it be for you? My ideal?
Well, right now I'm thinking of job.
Okay, I'm good with that. So that's all we're going to focus on throughout this program with this formula. Because one thing with law of attraction, if we're juggling too many plates, I think I've mentioned this before, that we're not focusing on any one thing, so everything gets diluted and we don't really manifest much of any one thing. So with this program, let's just manifest on that. So what I'd like you to do, ladies, is on your sheet, I'm going to do it with you as well. So Darlene, we're going to start with you first. So yours is my ideal job. On the left-hand side where it says contrast, so the way that you do this worksheet is by putting down all the things you don't want. And I'm just going to show you here. Honestly, I use these all the time. And I don't always just use that form. But this one I did, this is when I was creating my part of my new business. So I write down all the things that I don't want here, and then I go through each one, cross it out, and then we put it where I do want. And I don't stop on one page. I keep on going, and I keep on going. And what have I got? And then my desire statements. So I did this for my business. I also did this recently for my cat, who was sick. So I did my ideal health for my cat. So like I say, I use this 3-step all the time. It works beautifully because I believe it works as well. I know it works. I see the results. So I wrote down all the things about Katie's health that we didn't want, and then all the things that we did want. And what you do then is you just look at what you do want. And I actually put this up on my vision board so I can see it every day. Healthy. Katie is well on her way to being healthy.
Yeah, that's great.
So I don't have to look at this anymore, so I can put it away. And so Darlene, let's start with you then. Tell us what you don't want in your ideal job. And we'll just do it. We'll just do a few. We don't have to do a lot.
Long commute.
Perfect. You don't want a long commute. Okay, what else do you not want?
Too much stress.
Too much stress, okay.
Lack of flexibility.
Okay, lack of flexibility, okay.
Unsupportive coworkers.
Beautiful. Okay, and do one more for us then.
I would actually say unsupportive boss.
Okay, an unsupportive boss. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's take a look at the contrast to get clear on what we want, right? Because everything in life, whether you know it or not, actually comes about because of what we don't want. It's really interesting when you start looking at things. When you're deciding what food you want to eat, you think about what you don't want. Often, when you look at a menu, well, I don't want that, I don't want that. Well, what do you want, right? You're doing it all the time. You just don't realize. So we look at contrast first. Okay, so long commute. So what do you want?
Commute less than, actually a better way to put it maybe, commute less than.
How about short commute?
Half an hour less.
Okay, short commute.
Oh, all right. I don't
Right?
have to be specific.
You know, you can get more specific on things. That's a little bit more. We'll talk about that in the vibrational model. Okay, so cross out long commute.
All right, done.
Next one, too much stress. What do you want? It's not like I want no stress, because stress can be good. So how about stressless environment?
Well, then it can be boring. So I'd say good stress or stressless environment.
Okay, good stress. Good stress, because there is good stress, right? I mean, stress is what moves us forward as well. Okay, and the next one, lack of flexibility. What do you want?
Flexibility.
Can you be specific in this one? Flexibility in work hours or schedule, or?
Yeah, flexibility in schedule.
In schedule. Okay, good, perfect. And you don't want unsupportive co-workers. What do you want?
I want supportive team.
Yeah. Supportive team.
All working together.
Okay. And unsupportive boss.
Just a sec. Okay, I want a supportive boss.
And what does supportive look like?
Well, that's what I'm, respects my work.
Okay, yeah. So you can get more specific on those things. And where you just said respects my work, for me, on the other side of don't want is someone who disrespects my work. Right? And you could go on someone that does acknowledge my accomplishments or my contribution, right? Yeah. So you get the idea with that, right? So what you're going to do, both of you, when we're finished is you're going to take that list, right? And you're going to keep what you do want. We're not tucking this away, ladies. We're going to manifest this, right? This is what this program's all about. So we don't ever have to look at, we look at the contrast very briefly in our life, but we don't dwell on it, right? Because, you know, life happens. We're not going to be an ostrich with our head in the sand, but we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, right? Okay, Nina, so you're my ideal life?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So let's do contrast first. So what don't you want, Nina?
To live all one-sided. So I tend to be an all or nothing person. So, for example, when my work was my work, all I did was work.
Okay, so what you don't want then is focus on one thing only.
Yes.
Okay. And I would say, and make it my life.
Yes.
Because I think you've done that. Okay, what would be another thing you don't want?
Just writing that down.
Okay, yep.
Blocks with, I don't want to live with blocks in my limitations, or feeling stuck at where I am.
Okay, let's say you don't want feeling stuck. And let's think about some balance for you. What don't you want?
The other things I put down was feeling unproductive.
Okay.
Because with balance, I don't really feel like I'm accomplishing anything for my life or myself. Lonely isolation, I tend to...
So the contrast here is you don't want to be isolated?
I don't want to be isolated, which I do to myself a lot.
Okay.
And always identify myself with work or accomplishments.
Okay, so we'll look at those.
And the last one that I put down was not to dress professional or nice like I used to.
You don't want to?
No, I want to stop doing that.
Dress professionally. Okay, so let's take a look at what you do want. So what you don't want is to focus on one thing only and make it your life. So what do you want?
I want to be able to try on different...
Okay, so how about variety of interests?
Okay.
Variety of interests, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it short so it makes it, you know, we get clear on it. Well, I want to have a variety of interests, right? Okay. And then cross out that what you don't want. So you don't want to feel stuck. How do you want to feel?
I want to be able to flow from one thing to another.
Okay. Flow from one thing to another. You want to be creative.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Creative. Flow from one thing to another. I love that. Okay, let's cross out that feeling stuck. You don't want to feel unproductive. How do you want to feel, Nina?
I want to feel like I'm contributing something to myself, my family, and my life.
Contributing. Yeah, because when you're productive, we often think, in your case, it would be sales, right? Next sale. But when you're contributing and making a difference, and that's where you're going to feel better, right? Okay, and you don't want to be isolated. What do you want?
I want to start getting, or being more, before it was always my clients.
Okay.
Now, you know, just getting out, meeting people, or just...
So we're socially active?
Friends.
Socially active?
Yes.
Okay. Meet girlfriends. Good, okay. And you don't want to identify with work or those accomplishments. So what do you want?
I just want to feel good in my own skin the way I am.
So I'm going to say I just want to be who I am, feeling good in my own skin. Because there's something we say in the spiritual world that Nina, you've been so busy doing that you haven't been being, right? You've been the doer and not just being and taking in life, right? And you know that happens to a lot of us. It's happened to me as well, right? Where we have to say, okay, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, right? And that's why I say we need that contrast to say what is it that we do want, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, you don't want to dress professionally. How do you want to dress?
I still want to dress nice, like, you know, do my hair.
Stylish. Okay, stylish.
Yes, I like that.
Stylish. Yes, I know. I mean, I know I've been out of corporate for a long time, but that was one of the things that I just said, no more of these suits for me. And it's so much more fun now in this business that, you know, I really do like clothes. So, you know, I have a few favorite stores that I love to go into, and I really like stylish things. You know, some things I'll spend, you know, a little bit more money on, and other things just basics. Doesn't matter that much. But, and that's where Winners comes in, right? But if I see something I really like, then I'll spend the money on it because I just know how good I'm going to feel in it. Yeah, I bought a gorgeous little outfit the other day. Okay, I digress. Okay, so Nina, so both of you are going to take your sheet, right, and you're going to fold it in half. And what I find is once I have done that and I put it up, I find the next day I'll come in and I'll go, well, I don't want that. And then I'll write down another thing I don't want, because all of a sudden this list, you really start going on it. So I can have like 2-3 pages of something. So that's our first step, is identifying. Oh, here's another one that I had done as well when I was going on my ideal business. Another good thing to do, which I forgot to mention, is to date things. I always put the date up at the corner there, and that way it kind of, you know, you can look back on it, and when things start to happen, you can go, oh yeah, or you can start adding things to it. Okay. Yes.
I think I'm going to do another one as well for my daughter and her transition right now. She's in grade 12.
So would that be your relationship, or would you have her do it?
That's interesting. Maybe I should get her to do it.
Yeah, because we can't do things for people. You know, we can't.
Yeah, I guess maybe it would be the relationship and how I can help her.
So you can do this for anything that affects you, but we can never change anybody else, right? So she could do it. I'm going to show you the 2 steps right now, but that might be your relationship, everything you don't want, and how you want to see that transition. And you can talk to her about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. On Nina, do you have a question? You look very pensive there. No. Okay. Page 11.
11, not 10.
No, 10. I've given you another.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've given you an extra sheet there to. You know, you can photocopy it or just do what I do. I just take a piece of paper and put a line in it, because I do these all the time. Okay, so page 11 is to raise your vibration and give your vibration attention. So what you've done when you're doing that everything that you want list, how is your vibration with what you want? Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Yeah. And with what you don't want?
Negative.
Exactly. So when we focus on what we do want, we naturally raise the energy. So we have to set the energy in motion for what you want now. So we've got this thing called a vibrational bubble. Like, Nina, you do Reiki, so you understand energy, and you know we've got chakras and you know energy bubble around us and all of that. Well, this vibrational bubble. So let's take a look at the left-hand side. That what it includes. So what do you think it might include? Your energy. Okay, so I'll give you a hint. So right now it's going to include your clarity list.
Okay.
Right? What it includes are memories. It includes future thoughts. It includes worrying. It includes celebrating, thinking, daydreaming, feeling abundant, feeling in lack.
Feeling in lack?
Lack, yep. Feeling good. Feeling bad. So are you kind of getting the picture that everything is included in your vibrational bubble?
Good and bad.
Good and bad. All the thoughts that you're having. And, you know, we last week we talked about minding our own vibration. So if you take that person that's really bothering you or you're upset about something, and if you continue to talk about it, and you talk about it to a girlfriend, or you do a post on Facebook, what are you doing with that?
Adding more energy to it.
Adding more energy. You're keeping it alive, right? You're adding more fuel to the fire. That all goes into your vibrational bubble. And someone's going to email and say, oh, that's too bad, that happened to me, and you're going to email back and say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Once you really understand the law of attraction, you won't even participate in those negative things. I only participate in positive things on Facebook. If I see somebody saying something negative, or that somebody posts something negative on my page, I just delete it. I have no time for that kind of energy because, especially on Facebook, things can go very viral, right? And I don't want that to continue. It's like, okay, something happened. Let's deal with it. It's just like my cat. When she was going through what she was going through, I didn't put out there what was going on. I mentioned it a few times. I did my clarity contrast. I actually did a post of her, a video of Katie, and put it on my blog and said that, you know, just to show how cheeky she is, right? Because I want to hold her in that space of being positive and healthy. So everything goes into our vibrational bubble. It's just what you said earlier, Nina, about the Google search. If I was going to do a Google word search for red high heels, and I put red high heels and not flat shoes, what would I get?
Flat shoes.
I get everything. I get high heels, I get flats, I'd get wedgies, I'd get blue shoes and green shoes, and right? So that's really what goes on in our vibrational bubble, and the more that you're minding your own vibration, the less you are bringing in other people's vibrations and their energy. So again, the whole thing is about being mindful, and once you understand, like, yeah, we talked about that negative thing yesterday at work, and now we're bringing up it again. So what's the question you're going to say, Darlene, if that happens in your work environment? Okay, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on.
Yeah, so what do we want? What's next, right? What next steps? So what do we want, right? So on page 11 at the bottom that says, what am I including? Question mark. So to know what you're including, look at the results I am getting. Look at the results I'm getting. And that's the most important thing about manifestation, right? It's what's going on in the inner, is it matching what's going on in the outer? And if we don't like the results that we're getting, remember we have to go back to this, which is where it all starts, right? We have to go back, and look at the words that we're saying, the thoughts that we're having, and those thoughts are positive or negative, they give us a positive or negative vibe, and that's where we get the results. That's why I did a book just on the power of your words, just with that relationship, because it all starts with us. Everything goes into our vibrational bubble. Now, there's ways to release things, and we're going to do a bit of EFT in the last week that we do things, but right now, so what am I including? What am I excluding? What would be your answer for that? What am I excluding in that vibrational bubble? Nothing, right? Because everything's included. So you're starting to understand why it's so important to be mindful of what's going in your head, in your mind, your thoughts, who you're hanging out with, all those kinds of things. So what am I excluding? Nothing. Even when I say no to something, I am including it. If I said, no, I don't want to do that, or no, that doesn't make me happy, the longer we dwell on that, the more that stays in our vibrational bubble and pulls us down, because it's a negative word. So what am I excluding? Nothing. Even when I say no to something, I'm including it. So nothing is excluded. All right. Now the next one I'm going to show you on page 12. I did a whole YouTube video on this one, and it's called the Vibrational Business Plan. But for your purposes, Nina, I think you can cross that out and put my vibrational life plan. Why don't we do that for you? So my vibrational life plan. And then, Darlene, what would it be for you? My vibrational, I guess you could do career plan.
Yep, career.
Okay.
I deliberately, it's interesting, I didn't say career because I was focusing more on the immediate. But yeah, I'll say career plan.
Yeah, say career. And maybe when you do your clarity through contrast, maybe look at career as well, because you know that's something you are going to be doing for a while, right? So, you know, and your career can be, you know, 6-month contract jobs, right? Or 2-year, whatever. It could be anything like that. But it'd be really important to get clear on what you don't want in your career. Okay, so on this one, this vibrational business plan, so at the top, you're going to put what I know for sure, and I'm actually going to show you mine here. I put it up behind me. I do it on Bristol board. And this is what it looks like. So at the very top, you see on page 12, what I know for sure. So I just use sticky notes for mine. So I'll just show you those. So what I know for sure, and then what am I giving my attention to? And then the third one is room for more. And I just did this, I redid it actually last month. So if you notice those yellow ones where I said room for more, they've actually already gone on to my, oops, over here. They've already moved up. So what I had room for more was guest blogging and blog talk radio. And all of a sudden I'm getting all these opportunities on blog talk radio, and I'm getting people to ask me to do guest blogs all the time. So that happened within the last 2 weeks. So it's nice that you can take something that you've got room for more and move it up. So it's kind of a fun little thing to do. So what I'd like to do here then is, Nina, let's take a look at you, and let's just do a few here. You guys can write in yours, but I'm going to do it this way. So Nina, what would you know for sure right now about your life? What could we say for sure? What's going on right now?
I'm not working.
Okay, so what you know for sure is that you're taking a break from work.
Okay.
Right? Because if you noticed, you used the word not.
Yes.
So I just reframed it. It will become very automatic to you. You'll catch yourself.
Yeah.
So taking a break from work. And I think something else that you know for sure is that, what would you say about your physiotherapy? You committed to the program? Is it working? Is it helping?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm committed to the program.
Okay, so let's put that down. Committed to healing my body through physiotherapy. Because what we want to look at are things that we're doing, you know, in a positive sense. So what are you giving your attention to?
Feeling better. Feeling healthier.
Okay, so in what way? How describe that for us? Eating better or
physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Okay, and how are you doing that?
I have different health practitioners in place.
Okay.
That I'm committed to. Doing more meditation, more yoga.
Oh, good. Okay, so meditation could be one on its own then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And yoga could be one on its own.
Okay.
And are you eating better? Have you noticed that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so better diet.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really very health conscious right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, so you could put that one in the no for sure.
Okay.
Right? And you can fill these out later. I really do recommend that you do get some Bristol board and do this for yourself. Everything that you do shows the law of attraction, that you're committed to making changes and you're committed to manifesting, right? Because the energy and focus that you give whatever in your life is the result that you're going to get. If you if you don't put any energy into something or energy focus, it's not. Why do you think it's going to happen, right? If you're just whining and say, well, I want this or that, you're going to get more of the whining stuff, right? And then the room for more. So on that one, Nina, for you, I would put looking for new friends. So looking for new friends. And why don't we say an artistic outlet? Because I think you're looking for that. And then do you see the idea? You see where I'm going here with that? I just signed up for some art courses at John Braithwaite Community Center. Yay! Yeah, just one day ones, because I need to do something a little bit different as well. So there are things around, right? There's cooking, there's courses, there's all sorts of stuff. Okay, Darlene, let's do yours. So what you know for sure about career.
I think my sacred gifts.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure where to take this.
Okay, well, let's see what I know for sure, because you're looking at my vibrational career plan, right? So you know your sacred gifts. You know that you have a contract, right?
Yep.
You have an existing contract, right?
Yep.
And so what are you giving your attention to? And on that, we could say, yeah, what are you giving your attention to? Like, what do you look?
Doing a good job with the existing contract.
Okay, so let's do that. Doing my best work.
I'm also maintaining balance.
Okay.
Is that appropriate?
Yep. Okay, and then let's look at what's your room for more. And it doesn't have to be career, but it could be.
I want something. Sorry?
It could be career, but it could be part of the balance that's going to help you with your career as well.
Yeah. Well, future contracts are obviously.
Okay. Well, let's put that down. Future contracts. Would it be?
slash job.
Okay. What about more connections for you? That might be something that would help you in your career, right?
I have a lot of connections.
Okay.
And I was just going crazy meeting with lots of people, and I've sort of tapered that off.
Okay.
Because I've focused on this, and I was finding that it wasn't providing me with what I wanted.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm wondering, I'm just sort of going through that process now, trying to figure out whether, I guess my brain says that I need to keep those connections up.
Well, why don't we say room for more, why don't we say strategic connections? Best,
okay, I like that.
Yeah, let's say best strategic connections. Yeah, good. And then you can continue. You both can continue to work on that. But that gives you an idea of what that is. And it is all of this is very powerful, right? Because the more clarity you have, the more that you can attract exactly what it is you want, right? Okay.
Yeah, I have a question on this.
Yes.
I kind of understand it, but not 100%. Is there? Would your book provide more clarity on it, or what?
No, but you can go to my YouTube channel, Empowered Women in Business, and I did a show on it.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, I think I did it in January, actually. Yeah, it'll be called it'll be a vibrational business plan. And what's nice about it is there's people on the panel that have done them as well, differently. Okay, good, Darlene. Good question. So Nina, page 13, why your affirmations may not be working. So the first one, law of attraction responds to how I feel, and capitalize the words feel, to how I feel about what I say or think. Law of attraction responds to how I feel, and underline feel about what I say or think. And the next sentence says the words need to be congruent with my feelings. So the words need to be congruent with my feelings. And the key to making your affirmation work is to make it true for you. Right? So, you know, I've taken courses where there's affirmations, and I've done a lot of exercises with affirmations, and sometimes, you know what? I didn't believe them. And I would say, well, this is stupid, right? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. So this is what has to go on. The law of attraction responds to how you feel about what you say or think, and the words need to be congruent with my feelings. So it has to be true. So you must believe it is possible. So sometimes underneath that, you must believe it is possible, I want you to write, reframe your thought. So reframe your thought, make it true for you, in alignment with your beliefs. So in that space you can write, reframe your thought, make it true for you, and in alignment with your beliefs. So Nina, here's the correction that I use all the time. and for me it feels good and I believe it. So this is something that we'll see how it feels for you after. But the correction is this. You want to start your sentence off with, I am in the process. So I'm going to give you the long definition, and then I'm going to come back to you, Nina. So the correction, I am in the process, and I want you to underline that. I am in the process. I'm in the process, and here's the rest of it, of attracting my ideal. And this is where you can fill in the blank. And so for you, Darlene, it's career. And for you, Nina, it's life, right? So I'm in the process of attracting my ideal. And then period. So the correction is, I'm in the process of attracting my ideal life. So there's a difference between an affirmation and a declarative sentence, and you can tell that by how you feel, right? If you're using an affirmation and the declarative sentence saying that I am happy, right? Nina, you wake up in the morning and we're like this, right? Yeah, I am happy. I'm happy. Life is so great, right? And we've all had days like that. We're not feeling that way. So just switch it up. So I'm in the process of starting to feel better today. Would that work for you, Nina?
Yes. Well, you know, we've always been raised with fake it till you make it. So we talk ourselves into it.
Yeah.
And now we're learning a different language.
Yeah. And even the fake it till you make it, you can do that as long as you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're faking it and there's no feeling good about it, then you're not going to manifest it, right? In fact, it's going to go back inside of you and you're going to feel sick, right?
Exactly.
Because you're going to feel like a fraud, or I didn't do that, or, you know, all the negative self.
Well, you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, does that make sense for you, Darlene?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
I love baby steps, as long as you go in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, if you said, you know, you get up, you're not feeling well, so I am in the process of attracting something great to eat. Why not start there? Right? We don't have to go to the top of the day. Oh, this is an awesome day. You know, I just had the best day. You know, I did yoga, met a new girlfriend, you know, took an art class. It was fabulous, right? Come on, people. Start with eating, or even having I'm in the process of having a great hot drink, right? You make those, or you're making shakes or whatever. Just start with that. Yeah, don't try and do fast forward on the movie too far ahead, right? Because if you then feel better and you take some time, like sometimes you know, I take a bit longer either for meditating or just sitting outside in the morning where I have my coffee until I feel better. You know, I just take that extra time with myself. So just something I'm going to tell you here that Michael says a lot. You don't have to be a negative person to attract negative things. It just means that somewhere in your life you've put too much attention on something negative. So maybe it was TV, maybe it was people you're hanging around with, maybe it was something you read in the newspaper, or maybe it was a book that you read and it had a topic that you found very upsetting, right? So you don't have to be a negative person to attract negative things, right? You can be a very positive person. But remember that vibrational bubble. You know, if we're hanging around with people that are just talking about negative things, or you know, how the world sucks, or they're a victim for this or that, what goes in our vibrational bubble then? All that crap, right? Because nothing is excluded. So does that clear up things a little bit for you there, Nina? Does that
Yeah, makes sense.
Success happen. Okay, so the next part of this is equally as important. Page 14, the limiting beliefs.
Can you repeat what he said?
Yes.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah,
you don't have to be a negative person to attract negative things.
Right. You just put too much attention on something negative. And that could be from a TV program, a book, a newspaper, the internet, social media, right? Somewhere that slipped into your vibrational bubble, right?
Thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so page 14. So a belief, this is what you're going to write down, is a thought that you think over and over. That's all a belief is, a thought that you think over and over, a thought that you think over and over. And you believe it. And in the Abraham series I was talking to you about with Esther Hicks, she talks a lot about this. In fact, I have a video or a CD that I play in my car sometimes, and she says, a belief is a thought you think over and over, a belief is a thought you think over and over, a belief is a thought you think over and over. So you can have a positive, uplifting belief, or you can have a limiting belief. And we're going to take a look at how you can shift that belief, but how to uncover a limiting belief is when you say something like, so you see that box there? I'd really like to do that, or I can't, sorry, I'll do it this way. I can't do that because no one will ever want to buy my services, or no one will ever hire me. I can't apply to that job because no one will ever hire me. So the word in there that we're always saying with a limiting belief, there's two words. I'd love to do that, but. And then we give all the reasons why we can't, right? So the first box is because, and the second box is but. I can't, I can't be happy today because my life sucks. Okay. Well, how's your life going to be? Pretty sucky, right? So what, can you think of a limiting belief that's come into your mind, Nina? Something that you couldn't do because. No. Okay, well, we could say something like, I'm never going to get healthy because of my car accident. Well, that's just not true, right? But if you think that, or I could be more successful, but I don't know the right people, right? I could have a better job if I knew who to contact. But, right? So, Darlene, anything pop into your mind? Any?
Oh yeah, lots.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole point of this is just become mindful. That's the whole thing that I hope you're getting from this. Just be mindful of what you're filling your mind with. What are those beliefs? So how to change a limiting belief. So when you have a limiting belief or thought that's holding you back from attracting what you want, you can change it by doing this. Number one, being aware you have it. Being aware you have it. The second thing to do is ask yourself, who told you? Where did that belief come from? Who told you that? All the women in my family get breast cancer. Okay, do you have to believe that? Does it have to be you? No, it's a limiting belief that someone said to you over and over. So number three, look for evidence. Look for evidence that what you want to manifest is possible because, so look for evidence that what you want to manifest is possible because others are doing it. So number 3, look for evidence that what you want to manifest is possible because others are doing it. And number 4 is find more empowering words to express your desire. So find more empowering words to express your desire. I mean, we could really spend an hour on this, but this is just really to, you know, put these thoughts in your mind that you can take a look at. What are your limiting beliefs, and who said that?
Can you
Yep.
take us through an example? I understand 1 and 2.
Yep.
Just 3 and 4, I'm struggling.
Okay, so Darlene, has anybody been successful being a contract employee in your business?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that we're going to look at that in the desire statements, right? So number 4 would be saying things like, I know I have a lot to offer any employer.
Okay.
Right? That's more empowering than saying, well, you know, I got a few skills, right? But I've got a lot that I can offer an employer. They would be lucky to have me. Right? So that's where we change that belief. Well, because Darlene, you and I had the conversation. You said that you don't have an engineering degree.
Yeah.
And I think in there somewhere was a phrase, I won't get hired because, right? I don't have an engineering degree. Well, that's just a belief that you had. It's not true. Look at you. You just got hired.
Yeah.
Right? And there are lots of people that are hired without engineering degrees that work in engineering type companies. Of course they do, right? So it's just looking at it being more empowered. Does that help?
Yep.
Good. Nina, do you have any questions?
Nope.
You're good there? Okay. Okay, page 15. Now this one, so this is the step 2 part, right? Raising your vibration. So you both, Nina, you want an ideal life, and Darlene, you're working on your ideal career. And ladies, I have to say you're very fortunate that it's just the 2 of you in the program, because I can never take this much time, right? To be so specific with you on it. So that's why it's working, Darlene, right? Okay, so desire statements. So what you're going to do underneath, not that top section, I'm going to give you some examples, but where it says desire statement, my ideal. So Nina, you write in life, and Darlene, you write in career. At the top there, it says, I'm in the process of mid-page. I'm in the process of attracting and allowing my ideal, and I want you to put life or whatever to manifest. Because this whole program is about learning how to manifest, right? How to get the results that we want. So I'm in the process of attracting and allowing my ideal, whatever, to manifest. And notice how I'm using that, I'm in the process of. It's really a nice beginning phrase to use when you're building a sentence, right? I'm in the process of losing weight. I'm in the process of regaining my health, right? So all of those things are happening. And it makes it much more positive than saying, well, oh crap, I didn't lose a pound this month. Okay, well, I'm in the process of losing weight. Because that's where you're finding more empowering words as well, right? Okay, so number 1, Nina, I'm going to ask you to fill that in. So I love knowing that my ideal life
Is in the process of manifesting.
Okay, or you could say is possible.
Oh, it's
Right?
possible.
So what you're going to do, you're going to take all those 4 examples at the top, and you're going to put them in that paragraph below. So I love knowing that my ideal life is possible. Darlene, the second one. I'm excited about the thought of
A fantastic career.
Yes, yes. Now, I want you to say that one again.
I'm excited about the thought of a fantastic career.
And I would even say I'm excited about the thought of manifesting a fantastic career, right? Because, you know, this is what this book says for me, right? I love this, and I believe this.
I got Nina, I don't have you. Okay,
Oh,
thank
is that
you.
right? Okay.
Got it. I got it. I saw you in the little. There you go.
Yeah. Right? So we create our own reality, and I really get that because I'm very accountable for my life now and what goes on. Do some negative things come in my life? Yes. Does it mean I'm a negative person? No. Does it mean I'm a bad person? No. It just means that when I'm looking at things in society, this is why I don't watch TV. Or, well, I do watch some TV, but I'm selective. I don't watch news. I don't read a newspaper. I don't go on the internet to see what the worst stories of the day are, any of that. I don't want that. Does it seep in sometime? Yes. But it still doesn't make me a bad person or a negative person. I just have to be more mindful of what I'm paying attention to and putting in my vibrational bubble, right? So the third one, I like the idea of, what could that be for you, Nina? I like the idea of
letting it unfold.
Oh, no, I like that. I like that very much. And Darlene, I love how it feels when
I'm moving in the right direction.
Okay, does that feel good to you?
Nah.
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 Not enough. So how about this one? I love how it feels when my phone is ringing off the hook with contract opportunities.
Oh, I see.
Would that be raising that vibration? Oh, yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, I like the idea of people recognizing me as an asset to their company, right? So it's all these things that really put that out there, that this is really what you want, because it has to really feel, it has to really feel good. Because, a little bit of what you said was a bit flat. I just want you to get excited about this stuff, right? And then at the bottom it says, the law of attraction is unfolding and orchestrating everything that I need to do, know, or have. And actually, in that space below, I want you to write these 3 words. Well, it's actually 6 words, but 3 things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we're always expressing gratitude to the universe. And sometimes when we put these plans in place, or even my vibrational business plan, it's really interesting for me how I put those things down here at the bottom, room for more, and how they've already started to manifest at the top. I love that. Because we don't really know what timing the universe has for us. Sometimes that's where we get a bit frustrated, like we're on it now. Well, maybe you're not getting it now for a reason. And I actually just did a blog on procrastination and why I said procrastination can be a good thing. Because not all the ducks are lined up. And if it doesn't feel right to move forward, don't do it. And I noticed that I used the word don't, but so I'm mindful of it, right, when I use it. So just stay where you are until it feels right. So I want you to have some fun with doing those desire statements. So we've done step 1 and step 2 of the, oops, I'm just going to go back to this one.
I just got a quick question.
Yes.
What are we supposed to put in the big block with lots of lines? I'm in the process of attracting, allowing my...
Yeah, so you're going to take these 4 from here, and you're going to put them down here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So you're not just going to do it once at the top, you're going to do it again at the bottom, right? All right. Because you're going to have different ones, and I find that the more you write, the more you, like, even notice how we did it, Darlene, where it's like, hey, well, I'm really excited when the phone's ringing off the hook, and, a lot of people want to hire me. Oh, I just don't know which one I should take, like, what a good thing to have, right? Right? Yeah, so that's where so we're identifying our desire. We do the clarity through contrast worksheet. So that's the first step. Whoops, I'm just going to go back to this one, right? So it's identifying our desire. use the clarity through contrast. Step 2 is raising your vibration. And step 3 is allowing, and that's what we're going to spend more time on next week, because for me, it's the one that when the book The Secret came out and the movie, they missed that. They missed that step, and I think a lot of, well, some people that got turned. Do you know The Secret? I should ask that. Darlene, are you familiar with it?
Read the book. Yep.
Yeah. And Nina? The Secret? Yeah. So, yeah, there are just some things that they miss with it, and they kind of made it like, okay, just think about what you want, and you'll get it. So to me, that kind of made a Santa Claus God again, right? Like, be good, like the kid that got the bike or whatever, right? So the next step that you're going to learn, allowing, is going to be very, very powerful. So let's turn to page 16 for your assignment. So you've already done this, identify your desire, so my ideal life and my ideal career. I want you to take more time doing your clarity through contrast worksheet. Take a look at some of those limiting beliefs that you have that might be holding you back. And then I want you to complete your desire statements and create your own vibrational, and in your case it'll be life plan or career plan. And yeah, so if you get to that within the next week, that's great. If you don't, at least do the clarity through contrast in your desire statements. So tell me, what's one thing that you're going to take away from today, Darlene? What was useful for you?
I really like how it's somewhat structured, and that there's actually ways to move forward in baby steps.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. And Nina, how about for you?
Reminding myself, what do I want?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, even if you only, you know, you're not, I've been doing this for years, right? So, I've taken the course. Michael's been my coach for over a year now. So I live in the world of law of attraction. We don't even think of saying anything negative when we're talking to them. It's just like, what do we want? Like, briefly, we'll say, okay, this happened or whatever, but it's always the what do I want. If that's the only thing you took away from this whole program, that would be the best thing that you could take away. Using that 3-step formula, like I say, I use it all the time whenever I'm trying to manifest something. So it's not a once-a-year thing for me, but just being mindful of the words I'm saying and resetting my vibration. Like, when you do that, you're actually using a lot of tools and techniques just to get to that, because when you say, so what do I want, you have to change your words, which change your thoughts, which change your vibes, which changes your result. That's it. That's the only way you can change what you're getting. And if we look at that inner game, what are those thoughts? They manifest in the outward game, in our outward world, right? Whatever we're thinking in here is what's manifesting out there. So you can start to notice it more in people, particularly people that we call drama queens, or kings, I guess we could say, right? Just, people that always have to have that. They always say, oh, why does this always happen to me? And then they go on and explain it. Perfect match, right? And we all know those people, so it might be fun to watch at a distance. That's all. Okay, ladies, so I'm going to put the recording in the community. So you've always got those there to take a look at. So, Nina, how are you feeling now? Are you...
Good. I love that this program is so flexible with both, like Darlene and I are different points in our life, right? But it works for both of us.
Works for everything, yeah.
And so I love that. And I love that you're such an inspiration.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. I'll stay to you. Yeah, no, even for me, like I said, there's not every morning that I work up and I have my Pollyanna hat on, right? I mean, life happens and we go through things, but I've always got that choice. So what do I want? Well, you know what? Right now I settle for just a nice cup of coffee. And I was so looking forward to this morning as well. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I think that's going to be great. And then I've got another program, a mastermind, going on Friday. So, you know, I have created a life for me that that I'm really enjoying right now. Will it always be this? No. But will I always want to be creating something that I want in my life? Yeah, because I know how to do it. And that's what the law of attraction training is all about, that you've got tools and techniques that you can use. Okay. Darlene, I know you have to go off to work, and Nina, are you going off to physio, I think?
I got physio this morning, yes.
Yeah, good. Okay, ladies, I'm going to stop the recording, and have an awesome day.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you both tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right?